Abraham Lincoln's image is perhaps the most deeply ingrained in the American consciousness. We picture the tall, gaunt figure, often cloaked in shadow or etched in stone. He is traditionally seen as the stoic president, the man who bore the weight of a nation tearing itself apart. He guided the United States through its darkest hour, preserving the Union against all odds. His iconic image, complete with the signature top hat and somber, determined gaze, is instantly recognizable. It speaks of gravitas, intellect, and immense moral fortitude. But beneath this familiar, almost mythic image lay a surprising and often overlooked past. Before he was president, before he was even a prominent lawyer, Abraham Lincoln lived a life far removed from the halls of power. He was astonishingly a skilled and respected wrestler. Later in his life, though briefly, he was also a co-owner of a local bar and general store. This unexpected history reveals aspects of Lincoln that challenge the conventional portrait. It speaks of surprising physicality and a rugged, frontier strength. It also highlights an early entrepreneurial spirit and a deep connection to the everyday lives of ordinary people. These hidden facets offer a more complete, more nuanced, and perhaps more human understanding of the man who would become one of America's greatest leaders. They suggest that the qualities needed to save a nation might have been forged in unexpected places. Abraham Lincoln's wrestling background is not mere folklore. It is a well-documented part of his early life. Yet it is a part often overshadowed by the monumental political achievements that came later. Before debates and declarations, there were challenges on the mat. He was known throughout the frontier communities where he lived as a formidable competitor, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, with long limbs and surprising agility for his frame. He possessed natural advantages. He was known for his immense strength, honed by years of hard physical labor. Stories abound of his victories in the rough-and-tumble world of frontier wrestling matches. These were not the theatrical bouts of today, but often informal, intense contests of strength and skill. Lincoln participated in many such encounters, building a reputation for being nearly unbeatable. Historical accounts suggest he competed in approximately 300 matches throughout his youth and early adulthood. Incredibly, it is widely reported that he lost only one match during this entire period. This remarkable record speaks volumes about his physical prowess and competitive spirit. His wrestling ability, combined with his work ethic, earned him the famous nickname, the Railsplitter. This moniker was a direct testament to his strength and skill, particularly in splitting logs for fences and construction. It reflected the demanding physical labor he performed to make a living. But the nickname also became synonymous with his wrestling reputation. It evoked an image of raw power and the ability to overcome resistance, whether it was a tough log or a human opponent. This physical toughness and resilience, forged in countless matches and hard labor, likely served him well. It provided a foundation of endurance and mental fortitude that would be crucial during the unimaginable pressures of the Civil War presidency. He knew how to stand firm under pressure, how to absorb blows and keep fighting. Wrestling also provided something less tangible but equally important, a connection with the common man. These matches were community events, bringing people together from all walks of life. Lincoln participated as one of them, earning respect not just for his strength, but for his fairness and good humor. This ability to connect with and earn the respect of ordinary people was absolutely crucial for his later political success. He understood their lives, their struggles, and their values because he had lived among them, competed among them, and earned his place through physical effort and personal character. The wrestling ring, in a way, was an early political arena, teaching him how to gauge a crowd and handle pressure. Beyond the wrestling mat, Abraham Lincoln's early entrepreneurial ventures further illuminate his character and development. These experiences occurred primarily during his time in New Salem, Illinois, before he fully committed to a career in law and politics. They show a practical, business-minded side often overlooked. his first significant venture was co-owning a general store. This was more than just a place of commerce. It was a vital hub for the small community. Here, goods were exchanged, news was shared, and relationships were built. Lincoln learned the fundamentals of business, managing inventory, handling accounts, and dealing with customers. He later expanded his business interests, becoming a co-owner of a tavern in New Salem. This establishment, like the general store, was central to the town's social life. It was a place where people gathered to drink, talk politics, tell stories, and conduct informal business. This experience provided Lincoln with invaluable business acumen. He gained a first-hand understanding of economic realities, the flow of money, and the challenges faced by small businesses and their patrons. He saw how local economies functioned and the impact of financial decisions on everyday lives. Crucially, the tavern was a vibrant hub of social activity. It brought together a diverse cross-section of the community: farmers, laborers, merchants, travelers. Lincoln, working behind the counter, was perfectly positioned to interact with all of them. This daily interaction was a masterclass in human nature. It allowed him to hone his communication skills in a practical, informal setting. He learned to listen, to tell stories, to mediate disputes, and to connect with individuals on a personal level. He developed an uncanny ability to read people and understand their perspectives. This experience contributed significantly to his later success as a lawyer. He learned how to engage with juries, how to understand the motivations of witnesses, and how to present arguments in a way that resonated with ordinary people. The skills learned in the tavern translated directly to the courtroom. It also contributed immensely to his success as a politician. The ability to connect with diverse groups, to understand their concerns, and to communicate effectively was fundamental to building support and navigating the complex social landscapes of Illinois politics. He learned to handle different personalities and manage expectations. The tavern environment, with its mix of camaraderie and occasional conflict, taught him how to navigate complex social and political landscapes. He saw how opinions were formed, how alliances were made, and how disagreements played out among people from different backgrounds. It was a practical education in the dynamics of human interaction and community building. The revelation of Abraham Lincoln's past as a wrestler and bar owner challenges the traditional, often idealized portrayal of the president. We tend to see him as a figure of almost saintly wisdom and sorrow, elevated above the mundane realities of everyday life. But this history brings him back down to earth. It humanizes him in a profound way. It reminds us that before he was the great emancipator, he was a young man making his way in the world, using his physical strength and his wits to earn a living and build a reputation. He wasn't born into privilege or power. He earned his place through effort and experience. It reveals that he was not only a brilliant statesman and a profound thinker, but also a physically capable individual who knew hard labor. He understood the value of a strong back and the discipline required to face a physical challenge. This wasn't a man who shied away from difficulty, physical or otherwise. He understood the value of hard work because he had done it himself, splitting rails and managing a business. He knew the effort it took to build something, whether it was a fence, a business, or a political career. This personal experience grounded his understanding of the American spirit. He also understood the value of community, forged in the shared experiences of wrestling matches and tavern conversations. He knew how people relied on each other, how reputations were built, and how trust was earned in face-to-face interactions. These were the building blocks of the society he would one day lead. These aspects of his past paint a picture of a more rugged, more relatable Lincoln than the one often depicted in textbooks and monuments. He was a man of the people, not just in rhetoric, but in his lived experience. He carried the marks of the frontier, both physically and in his character. This history doesn't diminish his later achievements, it enhances them. It shows that the strength, resilience, and ability to connect with people that defined his presidency were not qualities he suddenly acquired. They were forged over years in the wrestling ring and behind the bar, long before he stepped onto the national stage. Looking back, these seemingly disparate aspects of Abraham Lincoln's life, the wrestler, the bar owner, the president, are deeply interconnected. They are not separate chapters but threads woven into the fabric of the man he became. Each experience contributed to his development in crucial ways. The physical discipline and mental toughness learned in wrestling built a foundation of resilience. The practical skills and human understanding gained from running businesses honed his ability to navigate complex social and economic landscapes. These were not just hobbies or jobs, they were formative experiences. They contributed directly to the development of the man who would ultimately lead the nation through its greatest crisis. The strength required to hold the Union together was not just political or moral. It was rooted in a deep, personal fortitude developed over a lifetime of overcoming challenges, both physical and social. These aspects paint a picture of a complex individual, a multifaceted man whose experiences were broader and deeper than the traditional narrative often allows. He was not just a man of books and speeches. He was a man of action and interaction, shaped by the rough and tumble world of the American frontier. His strength and resilience were indeed forged in the political arena, facing down secession and civil war, but they were also forged much earlier in the rough and tumble world of frontier life, grappling with opponents on the ground and engaging with patrons across a bar counter. The ability to stand tall, to absorb punishment, and to connect with people from all walks of life were skills he learned long before he needed them to save a nation. Abraham Lincoln's secret past as a wrestler and bar owner doesn't just add interesting footnotes to his biography. It provides essential context for understanding the extraordinary man he became. It reveals the roots of the strength and character that defined his presidency,